Let's go now to this live picture from the scene of a huge blaze. What's burning into the night sky not far from downtown Houston is a bit of a landmark in our city. It is the old American Rice Incorporated structure, actually a series of buildings. It is just west of downtown Houston off Memorial at Studemont. The blaze was first spotted around 9 o'clock this evening. It is still burning, obviously, as you can tell at this hour. It is a huge fire, the biggest we have had here in quite some time. Good evening again, everybody. I'm Steve Smith.
And I'm Felicia Jeter. Quite a fire in a very old building near downtown in our city. The building is more than 85 years old. Grain elevators near Memorial, traffic problems near an animal shelter, a number of reasons to be afraid of this dangerous fire. Our reporter Janet Chamlian was one of the first reporters at the scene. The fire is right across from Channel 11. Janet?
Felicia, it is burning fast and furiously right now, and it looks like it will not stop burning for quite some time. As you said, we're at American Rice Incorporated at 3000 Butler, just off Studemont near Allen Parkway, right across from downtown Houston. And right now, this blaze is occupying much of the city's fire force as they try to extinguish this. It is certainly going to be some time, if not days, before this is out. It is an old rice storage building that apparently paper is being stored at this time. And the heat is so intense that we can feel it from here. And earlier, about 20 minutes ago, the cinders that were coming down were igniting other small fires. In fact, people were carrying umbrellas around so that hair and coats were not going up in flames because the fire was igniting on the ground from these cinders that were falling. So it is an intense blaze. It is going at this time. It looks like no lives are in danger, but certainly we can't say that for the firefighters. It looks like they're keeping a distance back, but at the same time trying to plunge everything they can into it. Steve?
Janet, let me help you with a little bit of information as we look at this blaze tonight. We did some research just at airtime. At one time, back in the early 1900s, this was the biggest rice mill on the Texas coast. It was built by a company called Standard Milling Company. Then the old Bluebonnet Mills, which bought it from Standard, sold it to a co-op, which was ARI, American Rice Incorporated. And anybody, of course, who drove on this side of town, not far from downtown Houston, saw the huge ARI letters on one of the grain elevators over there for years and years. Many people said this place was an eyesore. Others said it was part of the charm of living and working on this side of town. Well, charm or not, the fact is this place is much of it is being consumed at this hour. It was added to time and again over the years until it became a fairly imposing structure. Then 2 or 3 years ago, ARI, American Rice Incorporated, got a much better deal from Freeport down along the Texas coast and moved their entire operation down there and built an entirely new facility. What you see is the soon-to-be gutted remains of the buildings that were left there. We are told, by the way, that there was no rice left in storage there, but there is a possibility of some grain being stored in some of those elevators, we understand, under a rental agreement. We've asked ARI about that. We have not had a comment from ARI in Freeport. We're hoping to learn more about that before we get off the air tonight. But Felicia, that is quite a fire, as you can see.
Of course, another concern, Steve, is that that's right near Memorial Drive, a major thoroughfare, and some of the cars were reportedly trapped there, and they didn't know which way to move them and how to get those cars out of the danger area. Also, about 2 blocks north of there is an SPCA shelter, and we talked to those people right before airtime, and they are very concerned about the animals in the shelter there. They have connected water hoses and are considering watering down the shelter, and they're putting the small animals in carrier cases in case they have to evacuate. Fire department officials have gone by there and told them at this time possibly there's no problem, but they are ready to evacuate at any hour because the wind can shift. And this, as you can see, is quite a fire.
We went on the air, of course, with the first report on this about 9:30 tonight, and we noticed the traffic then immediately on Memorial and also on Allen Parkway begin to back up from onlookers trying to get a view of this huge fire. The firefighters are on the scene. I suspect, without being much of an expert on such things, there is not much they can do to try to bring this particular blaze under control. Perhaps they can pour some water on the surrounding structures and keep it from spreading, but I would suspect that even that's dubious. Janet, you're still on the scene. Come in whenever you feel like it, please.
Steve, I'm sorry?
Please, go ahead with your report if you have anything to add to this report.
Well, just that, as you said, the traffic is backing up. It's monumental now, almost as if it wouldn't be this heavy this time of evening. I'm sure this can be seen for miles, and maybe that is creating some of the traffic tie-up. But let me just stress again that the heat here, the closer you get to it, I was about a half a mile closer earlier, is just incredible, and it certainly has the potential to do more damage. So that's something that they're looking out for. In fact, we were a little bit closer and they moved us back because the heat was just starting to melt things. It was a real danger.
Janet, are you able to see from where you are how close the firefighters can get with their water? It would seem to me not very.
No, not very. I mean, I guess we're talking maybe maybe 1,000 feet. I don't know. I really can't gauge that, Steve, but they're certainly not right there. Just the heat from this would, could kill you, I'm sure, being too close to it.
Janet, what we're seeing now are pictures taken apparently from the top, from our heliport atop Channel 11. Concerns about using choppers. When the blaze was pretty small, we did see what appeared to be either an HPD chopper or a fire department chopper. Of course, in a fire like this, wind conditions are not conducive to fighting fires by chopper or to getting very close looks for news purposes using our chopper. Vacuums are often created.
You are certainly right, and that chopper that we spotted early has either been cleared out of the area or just left voluntarily. Certainly no place to be flying at this time, and I see that the news organizations at this point are keeping their choppers away, and rightly so.
Janet, in watching this fire grow tonight, it appears it has been pretty much confined to that one large building there on the, I guess what would be the south side of that structure, and it is not, at this point at least, from the pictures that we're seeing, it is not expanded to the grain elevators, to the silo-looking buildings. Would you agree with that?
Steve, it's not spreading, but there again lies the potential for it to spread. The cinders that were starting the small grass fires, who knows what that's going to light up or find already in the grass that could ignite even further. There were several grass fires going on when we were a little bit closer up, and firefighters were quick to extinguish those, knowing what could full happen if they were led to go on.
I think we have to remember also that there are residences not far from there.
Absolutely. That's very near the Heights area and right there near the Montrose area, and that is, of course, an additional concern. We are seeing them fighting the fire from the ground. They're using ladders there to get up a little bit close. Some concern that there might be some residue of the rice there or even the asbestos. We had ARI in the news not too long ago with them trying to clear the asbestos from the area. All of that, of course, is very flammable, and there was some concerns about explosions as well.
We're going to break away from this for a while, and as they appear to be knocking the fire down to something resembling having it under control, we'll break away and do more news, and we'll be back with more from this huge fire later on tonight. Back with more in a minute.